So recently we looked at your most wanted career mode features for FIFA 17, and now it's time for Ultimate Team. As mentioned in the previous video, we're doing this early to improve the chances of this stuff actually making it into the game next September. Same as with the career mode post, we gave you guys 3 ideas we like to start you off before we let you loose in the comments with your own ideas. Sadly, a lot of these featured in the wishlist video from earlier in the year, but that was a little bit more whimsical. This is more about gathering feedback and getting it to EA. Expanded manager tasks. Rewards are always something that can spark discussion in FUT, and let's face it, we always want more match coins, more free packs, more draft tokens, and a good way to deliver those things to our big fat greedy faces would be by expanding out the manager tasks model to something more like what we see in FUT Mobile. The current set of tasks become obsolete on day one as everyone completes them and then claims the single free pack on offer, leaving that completed panel sat there in the UI for the rest of the year. A better offering would be to have lots of smaller tasks and targets that are constantly updated, so you always have something to work towards even if you've completed the previous ones. Continued UI improvements. The tag feature added to FIFA 16 made navigating and sorting packs a little more painless, but what about when you're wanting to list items? As someone that opens a lot of packs and subsequently ends up with tons of consumables, I'd like to be able to set my desired price for a bunch of contract items or healing items and then choose to list, say, 50 in one go. The alternative of listing them individually is unnecessarily time consuming. Recent changes like the addition of a toggle for setting the min and max buy it now value for listings have been most welcome. Basically, we want an interface we spend so much time in to be as smooth as possible to use, so more tweaks of this nature please. Draft mode development. Draft mode has been pretty successful thus far, and whilst it might not be everyone's cup of tea, it is a valuable addition to FUT, so naturally we'd like to see EA continue to work on it rather than leave it as it is, perhaps by featuring bronze and silver only drafts with cheaper entries, or better yet, online drafts against your friends. So those were ours, they're the ones we kicked you off with, and then you guys added the following in the comments. What I've done here is kind of amalgamated the overall bunch of comments and picked out what was the most talked about stuff and taken the best ideas from that and kind of pieced it together. So, player positioning. Far and away the most mentioned item was player positioning, with most of you being largely in favour of removing the existing position change items and opting instead for players having a predetermined list of available positions that could be used without receiving a chemistry penalty. Whether those positions were freely available or whether there was still a position change consumable to switch through them or not didn't seem to matter too much. The main concern people had was a system more accommodating for versatile players like Philip Lahm, for example. If such a system couldn't be implemented, there were also a few replies keen to limit where players could be played, for example lock-in centre-backs to being playable at centre-back, left-back, right-back and CDM. Rewards. I mentioned it before as it was one of ours, and unsurprisingly, next in the list of your requests was rewards. Naturally, we all want more stuff, but you guys were also willing to work for it. So as I mentioned, we want to see Ultimate Team offer up more challenges and tasks with suitable rewards for completing them, along with other stuff for hitting milestones like players scoring 25 goals or making 50 appearances. We've said it many times before, but this is an area that EA could really use to make a difference if they knuckle down and work out a smart system for balancing the tasks and rewards. In terms of packs, you guys asked for the option to buy untradeable packs from the store at a cheaper price than the current packs, and also more variety in the packs as seen on FUT Mobile, Bundesliga specific packs and the like. And there was also mention of a sharper reward scale for higher divisions, which seems pretty fair. Collection book. Sticking with rewards, the idea of collections was mentioned frequently, with Madden being referenced as a good starting point. Again, slightly tied to rewards like unlocking unique items for collecting all of the Premier League stadiums, for example. This would also offer an incentive to not just quick sell everything from all your packs. It needs to be the right types of collections, but with a bit of attention, I think this could really freshen FUT up. This is a favourite of mine, this one. I genuinely think it could have some mileage. Revamping chemistry. You also wanted to see additions to the chemistry model, with some common suggestions being that we should see weak links for players that have previously played together and or players that speak the same language. A nice idea, but one that seems a little bit unmanageable with such a large database. Draft. We mentioned it as one of our items. Draft mode was the big addition for FUT 16, but it didn't receive as much attention from you guys as we'd have imagined. Of all the draft mode requests, the most common was a free draft with no rewards. Now, whether or not EA would go for this will hinge largely on just how many FIFA points people are spending to enter drafts at the moment. If it's a reasonable amount, then there's no way EA would do anything to bring that down. And people also ask for draft tokens to be a little bit easier to obtain, as they're currently pretty scarce, and also Generations Draft, which would be an absolute licensing minefield, so forget it. The best of the rest, there was loads of other little stuff that you guys threw out, like the ability to set and save team tactics, co-op FUT, all packs that have 3 or more rare items having a rare player guaranteed, the ability to withdraw a player who's up for sale that has no bids from your transfer list, just in case your finger slips, happen to the best of us, improved goalkeeper and current squad stats. Christ, I really want to see this. How this hasn't been addressed so far, why they think these stats are appropriate for goalkeepers, and the fact that you can't look at your club stats as a whole, that's just whatever. The removal of training items, boy oh boy, that was a popular one. Upgrades for skills and weak foot for inform players if applicable. I like this one. If a player scores a rocket with their weaker foot to earn that inform, or produces a superb bit of skill above what you'd usually expect from them, then that should absolutely be reflected on their inform. And also a description of why a player received an inform on their inform item. A little bit like the legend descriptions maybe. That might be a bit over the top to do it for every team of the week player, but it would certainly be a good idea for heroes, man of the match and record breaker items. Different club items for different squads. Again, love the idea of each squad having kits and stadiums assigned to them rather than just having one slot for each item per club. And that was all the stuff we really pulled out. There you go, some hopes and dreams for FUT 17 as voted for by the FUThead community. As well as collating these along with the other ideas from the wish list, we'll naturally send it on to the people that need to read it too. So this isn't just mindless, we are getting it all to EA for you. You're welcome. Bye.